Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I'm Alicia J, and I'm here with Ashley Nicole Moss. And as you can see, this is a very special holiday episode.
Sure is. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Damn, I don't know the rest of the words.
How lovely are thy branches? You ain't gonna find me saying.
Are thy Christmas tree.
Ooh.
What's up, everyone? Yeah.
Listen, album coming out soon.
How lovely are your branches and your star at top of the tree. I don't know the words. We're going to work in it. That's not really in my range. We're going to find one that's in my range. We'll circle back to that.
That was just a little holiday remix
by
Ashley Nicole Moss.
Yeah, so pretty.
Mm-hmm. I love your Santa hat.
Thanks. I had to fight Cooper for it. Cooper gets very excited around Christmas time. I think just, the different colors, the lights, the decorations. When I walk him throughout the neighborhood, there are decorations up, and some people have those motion sensor decorations. So a couple houses up, one of my parents' neighbors has this nutcracker, and it's tall, it's a giant nutcracker. And or toy soldier, whatever it is. And when you walk past it, mouth moves and its arm moves, and it sings. It sings the Nutcracker theme song or whatever. Well, not sings it, but it plays the music. And Cooper does not rock with that. He's tried to fight that Nutcracker several times. So
I'm on Cooper's team with that.
Don't not a fan.
Start singing to me. I don't know you like that.
Not a fan. Cooper's not a fan. But listen, we have such a fun show. But we got to get down to business first and foremost. We just want to remind you to tap in with us on all of your social media platforms and tap in with us on our social media platforms. Alicia is pointing them out right now. We're on Insta, TikTok, all the things that you can imagine. We are there. And make sure you are subscribed. You got those notifications turned all the way up when we're talking about YouTube, because that is where we post episodes of the shows that you might have missed, behind the scenes looks at things, and our full length interviews, because we only play little clips and snippets of that here on the show. And if you are a podcast listener and not a watcher, maybe you need your hands free for the gingerbread contest, the gingerbread house contest, we got you covered. Scan this QR code right here and we will pop up wherever you get your pods. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, so there's no reason why you're not tapped in with us right here at We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T.
And listen, today we are going to have some fun. We asked all of you on all of our platforms, and thank you for tapping in, questions for us. So you submitted them. Emma's going to ask us some questions right now, and we're going to answer them, but we also want you to answer them too. So make sure that you answer whatever. We don't know what they are. They're coming at us for the first time right now. So make sure that you answer them along with us in the comments. So Emma, what we got? What's that first? I'm a little nervous. I don't know about you, Ashley.
Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Go ahead, Emma.
What is something that you really want for Christmas?
A man.
Listen, I don't know if it's out there though. Santa kind of laughed when I asked him.
Stop playing, Santa. How many times we gotta ask you for the same thing?
For real. Year after year, bruh.
I don't want no damn Sephora gift cards anymore. I'm good.
Save all of that.
All right.
I don't know if he has one of those in the bag, Ashley.
Alicia, what do you want for Christmas?
Ooh, child. I mean, I could say the same thing, but I'm tired of asking too. So, you know what? What I want for Christmas is to go home and be with my family. I know that's a very cliche answer, but I will be. So I'm excited. That's what I want for Christmas. But listen, Santa, what Ashley said, is it never gonna happen?
I really want for Christmas. I don't think I have a thing at top of my wish list. I think I'm very fortunate to be doing what I love every single day, and that provides, money that allows me to do things and go places and buy myself things that I want throughout the year. So I don't know if there's something that I need to have, but I'll always take another Chanel bag. I mean,
wouldn't be mad.
Wouldn't be mad at another one, just put that under my tree. But I go back to my first answer.
Listen, I'm not mad at that either. We out here. So
yeah. Well, we'll spin the block. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know if I want to spend any of these blocks I've been on. So
we'll spin the block of this conversation.
Okay.
On. Yeah. I don't want to spin those blocks either.
Just making sure. Making sure.
For sure.
All right, Emma. I think it's time for another one.
Okay. What Christmas movie character are you and why?
Oh, easy. I'm the Grinch because I feel like when I was younger, I was a little bit more grouchy. And I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot nicer. So you know how like the Grinch's heart melted and it grew sizes and he was like, what is that? That's me. I'm the Grinch. I'm the nice Grinch now, but I was the mean Grinch at one point. But I'm the Grinch. I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That is not at all what I thought you were going to say, but I'm here for it.
Okay.
Just not the Grinch. I don't know.
Oh, you know what else I could have picked? I don't know her name, but the one in the Grinch movie who ended up being with the Grinch and he knew her when she was like young, when they were in grade school, and she was like with the mayor. I would pick her because her fashion was on point. So that would be my plan B option.
I like it.
Yeah, she was giving fits for sure. What about you?
This one's hard too, because I think through all the Christmas, I'll tell you this. I am the woman that watches the Hallmark Christmas movies. I like those, the ones that they hop up on Netflix. They all have the same exact, storyline, but just like different variations. Like, yeah. So I am any woman in those that go to like the small town or like, like in the vineyards or whatever. Like I actually want to be that character. Like, like just like open the door and there's a man there that can build me a house. Yeah. Just that character, which is wild, but they just go to a small town. There's like the finest man in America there. They settle down and they open a vineyard.
Like a random lumberjack at the local inn. And you get stranded there as a city girl in the country.
Yeah, that's who I want to be. So
insert Hallmark character name here. And that's Alicia. Yes. Okay.
And I will, like, let's create a character for me. Like, I'll be that person. Period. Like, you know what? We can make it a sports one where I go and I'm like the basketball coach in the small town for the, team that needs to make a comeback. And then there's like, I don't know, like a science teacher that is just like,
wait, I have a better one.
You
and your team are traveling for a holiday tournament and the bus breaks down in a small town and you're forced to lodge at this little bed and breakfast in the middle of like the country. And there you meet the local general store owner and you guys fall in love because he teaches you how to live simplistically.
Hold on, I'm taking notes. Taking notes for the script, Ashley. Taking notes. I'm gonna write it.
Listen, I'll write it. We'll spin the block on this next year. We're gonna have a movie to talk about. Wait on it.
And I better be in it. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I better get my writer cred. So go ahead, Emma, before we get angry.
Most overrated and underrated holiday tradition.
Oh. Most overrated, underrated. Okay. Overrated, building gingerbread houses. 1, it's a pain. 2, you can't really eat it. Let's be honest. The gingerbread's mad hard. The candy's usually stale. Like, it's not even edible. You spend all that time crafting it. It never comes out exactly how you want it to. I don't know about you, but my dad gets mad, like, anal about the structure of the gingerbread house. And for what? To just look at it for a few days and then throw it in the trash? I don't get it. That's just me.
Okay, I'm going to say overrated, and people are going to say, oh, she's salty because she doesn't have a family and a man. But the matching pajamas, like that holiday tradition is just not a thing for, like, whenever I see all the posts, I'm like, here we go with the pajamas. So,
I've actually never done that.
Yeah, and no shade. If you do it, beautiful. But if I'm going to pick one, I just think I don't know. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Now watch when I do have a family and a man, you gonna see me in a matching pajama.
I know. I already know. I know. You're already gonna do it. Underrated. That's a good question. Most underrated holiday tradition.
I personally would say snow, because I have experienced snow on a holiday. You know, you always see the things in the movies, like the snow's falling on Christmas Day or whatever the case may be, or during just any of the holidays in the winter months. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
And I've actually had experienced snow, like living in Oregon. So we sometimes get snow on the holidays, and it does add a little special touch. So I feel like that part is underrated. And I know everyone can't get it and it's unfair,
Right.
but it does add a special touch for me. So I would say that's underrated.
I would say for me, underrated, getting dressed up on Christmas Eve. So I'm Italian, and Christmas Eve for us is a big deal. And I go out all nines. I makeup, hair, really nice dress. And that's where I take like my picture by the Christmas tree and like all that stuff. And people always say, why are you so dressed up to celebrate Christmas at home? Because I can. Mind your business. I don't tell you how to live your life. Don't tell me how to live my life.
But
That's
also, why would you complain about that? Who cares? If you want to dress up on Christmas, who cares?
If I could get dressed up to go to the grocery store, I would. It's just, I would be like Victoria Beckham when she went to the DMV, when she came over from America, when she used to have that reality show, and she was taking multiple pictures for her license until she found the right angle. That would be me. I don't care. I'm okay. I'm here for it. That's my vibe.
I was actually really upset when I took my last license photo, because she didn't even say that she was taking it, and I looked wild, and they wouldn't let me take it again. I actually tried.
Damn, that's the worst. Like, man, 1, 2, 3. It's really that simple.
Right.
Ugh.
Did me dirty for the next, 10, 12 years until I get the next one.
Insane.
What you got for us next, Emma?
Who would win in 5-on-5 pickup basketball, 5 Santas or 5 elves?
Elves.
Elves? 5 Santas. Santas come in all shapes and sizes. We've seen it. There's never one Santa that looks like the other. So you could build a squad with different Santas.
But think about it. Santa is usually of one particular age demographic. The elves are small, but technically elves live forever, right? So the elves, although they're like—
Who said they live forever?
I mean, you ever see an elf die? No. I mean, I guess Santa never die either.
Santa's been cool his whole life.
That's true. No. But Santa's been old his whole life. Elves technically have been little children their whole lives. They're little people, like little children, little young people.
Yeah, but Santas have experience. They've been doing this a lot longer. I think that they, you got all kinds of Santas that can get in. Like, when you think about it, you got a Santa that can get in the paint, a Santa that can shoot. Like, you have all kinds of Santas you can call on.
Thinking about the elves and the handles and how they can cross Santa up, go between the legs, behind the back. Like, what's Santa gonna do? Reach down, grab an elf, and just saying, you ever see Nate Robinson cook? Chris Paul cook? Sometimes you don't have to be the biggest to make the biggest impact.
Wow. Okay. All right. You went there. That's okay. But all I have to say is we got Santas out there that can swat all them shots. So
that's true. I mean, it'd be interesting. I think if the series goes 7, I'd be here for it.
It's Santas, y'all. Okay. No, we need to know. Put it in the comments, you guys, because I'm serious.
Yes. We're clearly split decision here.
Team Elf, Team Santa.
Team Santa.
Yeah. Team Santa.
Up in the same. We all know who, man. Squad.
Which coach would you trust the most to run Santa's workshop?
Easy, Dawn Staley.
Okay, why?
I mean, we see how she runs things at South Carolina. We saw how she ran things as a player. And just as a person, she would have it all in order. Like, I already know. It would be a fun environment. It would just work. Like, Dawn gets in there and she orchestrates things just masterfully. So I'm going Dawn Staley all day.
I'm going to take it to the NBA, and I'm going to go Greg Popovich, because Greg is not going to be about no jokes. You're going to make sure all of these toys are made. And if they're not made up to my standard, we're going to run it back and do it again. It's not going to be any laughing. It's going to be laughing when the job's finished. There'll be a little bit slight crack into the jokes every now and then, but Greg Popovich runs a tight ship. And ultimately, championships will be won. Kids will get their toys for Christmas. And then we can spend the rest of the year just chilling because the job is finished. I'm going Greg Popovich for sure.
Are the toys going to be boring, though? I'm just asking.
They may not be the most...
Because the best toy is going to come from Dawn's camp.
They're not going to be the most,
period. The most stylish.
But they're going to be the most effective. And that's really what you want in your toy. The toy that's going to last you a long time. It's not all flash. It's a lot of substance. And that's what Greg Popovich is going to give you.
Yeah, but if you look at Dawn Staley, you have a balance of substance, flash, style. We're going to have fun. Everything is...
The elves will be dressed pretty fly.
Listen, we finna be in this thing, bro. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm not mad at Greg, though.
I'm not mad at either. Maybe they can, team up.
That's a nice
coach, run
balance.
The workshop together. I'm here for it.
Balance. That's a nice balance.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Emma, who would you pick?
Oh, me? I mean, I'm from Iowa, so I'm going to go Jan Jensen.
Good pick, Emma.
Solid.
Love me some Jan. Did you see her in the Iowa State game? I mean, she was fighting for her team. I want somebody that's going to fight for my team. So
yes,
fight for the elves, fight for the toys.
Fight
for the toys. Fight for all the kiddos. What's your favorite sports memory?
Ooh. If I had to pick, my favorite was probably Kobe's last game in 2016 when he dropped 60 and everybody was on pins and needles waiting to see if he would hit that 60 because he kept getting closer and closer. And when the 60 happened and the final buzzer was, made its sound and he approached half court and he said, "Mamba out." I am not a highly emotional person, but I was shedding tears. I was hysterical crying. It was just such a huge moment for me as a basketball fan, as a Kobe Bryant fan. I've always said that Kobe and AI were the two players that really helped me. My dad helped me understand the game, but those players were the reason I really wanted to learn the game. I fell in love with the game of basketball specifically because of Kobe Bryant. So being able to watch him my entire life and just knowing that I was witnessing the last time he would ever dribble a basketball was so, so, so surreal. And even thinking about it now gives me goosebumps. And it was just that phrase, "Mamba out," that it was just I think sometimes there are some athletes that you just think will do it forever. And I think for me, even though I know everyone eventually retires, for me, Kobe Bryant was going to play basketball forever. He was never going to retire. And seeing that retirement happen it was a flood of different emotions. And, his family was there. And just one of my regrets is not being in the building for that game. But I'm glad I was able to witness that live. So that's probably mine.
That's definitely a moment. Man, how can I surpass that? You can't. Actually, you can't surpass that moment, especially, knowing that Kobe's looking down on us now. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely a moment that I think we all hold dear, right?
Yeah.
For me, it is really, really hard to say. These would be personal experiences that I had. Maybe not. I mean, I did watch too, but winning 3 championships with the Golden State Warriors, working with them and for them, each one of them are special in their own way. But those, I would say, for me, is a combined moment. I have 3 rings that I'll always have to cherish the memories with. And it was just beautiful to be a part of that. So I would definitely say those are my favorite sports memories, is the championships that I was a part of. But then I would also say the We Believe season. That was my first season. I was actually an intern with the Warriors prior to that, but that was my first full-time season. And I'm just going to be real with it. We were not prepared because nobody really had us going into the playoffs. And there was just such a buzz and an energy. And it was just, I was sleeping at the arena literally because we would be putting up the We Believe shirts, and then we'd have a game the next day, and then I'd have to schedule all the talent and everything because I worked in game operations. So it was a nonstop thing. So I literally was sleeping at Oracle Arena. I was very young then. It was like my first experience, and the fans that came into that arena, which that arena is like no other, totally miss Oracle Arena, but they stood from the moment they came in. Like there was no sitting. Nobody sat. And I'm talking about through pregame, everything. Like nobody was sitting. It was standing, putting on shirts, and cheering for that team. So that is definitely a sports moment that I'll never forget either.
I love that.
What do you think 2025 holds for women's sports and women's sports leagues?
I think just more of what we've seen happen this season. I think that in a plethora of different women's sports, we've seen such massive increases, whether it's in revenue, whether it's in viewership, whether it's in opportunities for the athletes themselves, whether it's more, whether that comes, in brand deals, whether that comes in fashion partnerships. I think that we're just going to see more of that. I think that now women's sports is at the forefront of everyone's minds. And I think that we have so many polarizing athletes within women's sports at one particular time. I think sometimes, leagues will go through eras where it's like there's a couple here, but there's just so many now. And there's going to be so many after this upcoming draft. And I just think that the trajectory is just only going to continue to grow and get larger and larger and increase. And I think that with all of that, just the opportunities are going to continue to increase. And I think that finally, what so many women's sports fans have been saying is that women's sports matters and women's sports are not a downgrade from men's sports. I think that mantra is finally going to be universally recognized by the masses. So that's what I think.
I couldn't agree more. I echo everything that you said. And I also would say that you're going to see more ownership by the players and more kind of like autonomy. And, we're seeing even that right now with the NWSL and the CBA that they, announced that is amazing. Something that, we've never seen in women's sports before to this degree. And I see other leagues like the WNBA following suit in that. They're already working on it as we speak.
Right.
So definitely looking forward to seeing more of that. But then also more of the movements kind of, and people might not call this a movement, but I am, like the Unrivaled League is a movement to me because it's showing everybody that, number one, the players deserve more money, more opportunities, creating their own opportunities, their own ownership. And we're going to see that across the board, I believe, in every single sport. We've seen a lot of it, but we're going to see an increase, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch.
I think so. And I know so, rather. That's what I'm going to say. I know so. Switching gears, but in the same realm of the sports family, we're going to talk starting lineup wish list. All right. With the holidays come gifts and gift wish lists. And this year, we're going to put together our starting lineup wish list, picking 5 athletes that we would want to have on our pickup teams, be it basketball, hockey, soccer, doesn't matter, any sport, you name it. Alicia, go ahead and go first. I'll let you do the honors, kick things off.
Okay, so I'm going current because I went back and forth with it, and I'm like, man, I could, talk about, players that are retired, whatever, but I'm going to go current. For me, and Coco Gauff is on my starting 5. She is the current top highest paid women's athlete, I should say, rather. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but she is right now. But also just what she's done at her age and what she's accomplished and the things that she's going for. Like, I want her on my team every day. She's a competitor. She's just phenomenal. And, the list goes on and on for all of the people I'm going to mention. But Trinity Rodman, definitely want her on my starting 5. She's a player that is relentless. her footwork. We could go down the line on the type of player that she is, but when I think of where I would want like my personal starting five to go, they're all like on an upward trajectory. I don't know why I cannot talk, but it's that Christmas special apparently that's making me. But just love Trinity Rodman, everything that she's done, and also what she means to the sport of soccer too for so many young women. The representation that she has is phenomenal as well. Ilona Maher, period. Like, yeah, she's a rugby star for sure, but she's also a testament to where I think
cover model.
Yeah, I mean, cover model, Dancing with the Stars, killed it on there. I mean, social media maven, I don't know if that's the right term, but she kills it on social media. But she's also, I wish that athletes didn't have to kind of build out all aspects to make a living, right? Or she talked about this the other day, but they have to right now to propel their brands, to propel who they are, their sports and everything. And she does it, even though I wish they didn't have to. I wish like she said, I wish I could just go play rugby, but I can't. But she is the epitome of that and where we see a lot of women athletes going. So definitely having her. Simone Biles, I think that goes without saying. I'll have her on my team every single day. Not only is she an amazing athlete, but an advocate for mental health. She is the GOAT, period. And her tenacity, who she is, what she stands for, want her on my team every day. And this one was hard. I definitely want to pick someone in women's basketball. And I don't know. I have to go with Asia Wilson because of everything that she did this year. And she's just phenomenal. She's phenomenal. She's everything that the league is. To me, she's the face of the league. And I mean, I'd have her on my team every single day of the week. So that's my starting five.
All right. So mine, I'm going to kick mine off with a GOAT when we talk about tennis. I'm going Serena Williams. Serena Williams was my introduction to tennis as a whole, not just women's tennis, but tennis as a whole. I was not a watcher or a follower of tennis until Serena Williams started making it cool. What she's been able to do for just the sport, the correlation between the sport and the fashion world and business, but also what she's been able to do for the women that have followed her, specifically young Black women. I think her legacy is cemented. So give me Serena. Soccer. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to go men and women here. Soccer, I'm going Messi, my favorite soccer player of all time. He's in Miami now. I've gotten an opportunity to watch him play, and it was the craziest, most surreal experience of my life, being just a couple of rows away from him. I acted like a fool. I was like, Messi! Like, it was insane. If you've never seen Messi in person, you won't understand what I'm saying. But if you have, like, you get it. I'm gonna go number 3. Give me Candace Parker. I think we've talked about this on this show time and time again. Candace Parker was my introduction, much like Serena, for tennis and women's tennis. Candace Parker was my introduction to women's basketball. She was the reason I wanted to start following. I remember watching her win at Tennessee and then following her professional career. I think a lot of what she has done has set the blueprint for so many athletes that have followed her in the WNBA. She's a boss wife. She's a boss mom. She's a boss basketball player. She's a champion. She's a broadcaster. She is a producer. I mean, the list goes on and on. One of the GOATs when we talk about women's basketball. Absolutely love her. Give me Candace Parker. I'm going to stick in the basketball conversation. I'm going to go with a guy that I know you love just as much as I do. Give me Steph Curry.
Period.
Steph Curry, night, Steph Curry. I am a huge Curry fan. He is I love watching him play. He showed no signs of slowing down. I know that in this day and age, we've seen a lot of players move to different organizations in different cities. One thing that I love about Curry, because it reminds me so much of this guy up here, Kobe Bryant. You've seen him in one city, one organization, one fan base has had the opportunity to call him theirs. And I just love that he's seen the Warriors through the good and the bad, and he's ultimately been able to reap the benefits. Love that he finally got his gold medal. Love that we were able to watch that gold medal game in person. I love being able to watch that switch happen. Give me Steph Curry. And I actually have the same as you for my fifth one, Simone Biles. When you talk about GOATs in the Olympics, when you talk about just women who have persevered through so many different obstacles and also have just done it on the biggest stage possible. I think one thing about Simone that I've just really admired and just enjoyed watching is that she never stays down for too long. And this past Olympics was just, it was so thrilling to be able to watch her bounce back after Tokyo and how disastrous that was for her and how many people counted her out and how many people discredited whether she was the GOAT or not. Well, you can, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. She got a whole lot of gold medals. So Simone Biles, all day, every day. So that's my starting five.
Well, I'll take either of those starting fives all day. All day. Definitely, we just connected to the best in sports, but right now we're going to connect to one of our favorite segments, and that is Connecting Changes Everything, presented by AT&T.
Now, this week, we wanted to highlight someone who is spreading a little bit of holiday cheer or a lot of holiday cheer during this time of year and is doing so to his alma mater. That person is Alexis Ohanian, who recently gave a gift to the University of Virginia's women's basketball team. Now, obviously, we know Alexis. He is married to the GOAT, Serena Williams, but he is also his alma mater, like I said, he is a graduate of Virginia. He committed to a multi-year transformational gift to the program, which is the largest donation in women's basketball's program history, in the women's basketball program's history, and the second largest in women's athletics in UVA history. That's the University of Virginia. The husband, like I said, of Serena Williams, they both have been long advocated for women's sports, including being lead investors in NWSL's club Angel City's founding. There was a quote right here that I'm going to go ahead and read from the director of athletics, Carla Williams, said, Alexis' commitment to women's sports is unparalleled. He sees the value and is willing to invest. His support will help attract championship talent to the University of Virginia and specifically to UVA women's basketball. I am extremely grateful for his foresight and his commitment to the future of women's athletics at the University of Virginia. And Alexis also gave a quote to the media and said, it is probably the question I get most these days. When are you going to make moves in women's basketball? I am proud to support the women's program at my alma mater with this donation. It's time to bring the nation's best hoops talent to Charlottesville and win some championships in the next 4 years. Big deal. We always like to see graduates of schools give back to their alma mater in any way that they possibly can. We've seen it done at HBCUs a lot, whether it's donating to a building, whether it's donating to a specific program. We've seen it at bigger schools. We know about the brotherhood and the sisterhood that exists at Duke. We've seen it at USC, former alum going back. When I got to interview some of the girls at UCLA, Nina and Russell Westbrook are constantly going back to their alma mater and speaking to the young men and women there and passing along advice, doing workouts with them. We love to see that. That's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about. And, I know that Alexis has been a champion in business for years. I mean,
about the bar in Portland.
Yeah, the bar. Yes. The sports bra for sure.
Yes.
And he's also invested in women's sports, and he's doing it because it's the smart thing to do, right? We know that when you invest in women, you're not only going to see your investment back, but it's going to pay off in dividends. And when it comes to something like this for his alma mater, It's great that it's his alma mater, but I also know that he sees that there is greatness in women's basketball. So he's, giving this amazing, he's given this gift, right? Because it's not even something he's looking to see back, really.
Right.
Is also an amazing. He's donating this money to make sure that this program is successful. And I applaud him for it on every level. He's done this time and time again in women's sports. He's actually made his daughter an owner in women's sports already. Both him and
Shout out
Serena
to Miss
have.
Olympia.
Yeah. And so it's just a beautiful thing to see. And this is just the tip of the iceberg for him in the things that he's going to do and that he will continue to do. But we love to see it. And it takes everyone to propel women's sports.
Right.
We have been giving a lot of applause to women, and we should. And women are the biggest driver in this, and we always have been. But it also takes men as well that are investing in it, and he's an example of that.
Absolutely. And like we said, it is great to see people go back to the schools that have made them successful in some way, shape, or form, or the schools they learned a certain skill that made them successful, or just going back to a community that has given them so much in some way, shape, or form. And Alexis is one of those people who puts his money where his mouth is, not just when it comes to his alma mater, but when it comes to women's sports as a whole. So we applaud you, and thank you. I guess that's what we can say. Thank you.
And continue to do the work that he's doing, everyone. Like, don't let him be the only one. Get in there and give back as well.
For sure. Now, before we close out this holiday edition of We Need to Talk Now, we wanted to do something in the spirit of the season with our version of Candid Conversations this week. And we're talking holiday movies, our favorite holiday movies, ones that we either like to watch by ourselves, with friends, with family, with loved ones, anything that helps us get into the spirit of the season. Alicia, why don't you start us off first, and I'll take it off after you.
It's hard because, like I said before, I watch a lot of Christmas movies. I really do. That's one thing.
Do you start like Thanksgiving time, start watching them? Or do you like wait until it's actually December?
I gotta wait till December.
Okay.
I can't tolerate it before December, as a matter of fact.
Got it.
But it's weird. It's like a switch turns on and I'm like, ooh, holiday movies. Let me watch
like Mariah. It's time.
Exactly. You should sing it actually, because you have an album coming out.
Yeah, but I can't hit the Mariah note. I'm not going to try that.
Okay. But I'm definitely not trying it. Y'all don't want that. No, when I think back to a movie that I watch every single Christmas, it's This Christmas.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, the one with Idris Elba. There's a whole other cast, but that's who's in it for me.
Yeah.
So,
no, great movie. Obviously, great music, great cast, a lot of storylines within the storyline. It's one of those feel-good movies. You know how it's going to end, but I do like the cast. Mine's a classic. My mom actually is like, why do you like this movie? It's so unrealistic. I feel like most holiday movies are unrealistic, but my mom specifically makes, both my parents actually do this, specifically make fun of the fact that I love this movie. Home Alone is my favorite, but I like Home Alone Lost in New York is my favorite one, the second one. And my parents make fun of me because they're like, how do you lose your kid not once but twice? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, I would know if you weren't on the plane going to Paris or whatever. I don't think that deeply into it. It's not
it's a movie.
I just love seeing him set the traps. I just love seeing him being lost in New York in the second one and going through the different, New York landmarks that I grew up going to around Christmas time. And I love what he says, and Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Like, it's one of my favorite movies. I can't tell you why. Yes, the plot is kind of ridiculous that she lost her kid twice. But there was a lot of kids in that house. I feel like it could have been possible. Like,
the holidays are a busy time. Sometimes you lose a kid.
And he managed, he took down 2 burglars by himself, not once, but twice. We need to put some respect on his name and stop worrying about the plot and start appreciating the genius that he is. I'm just saying.
I agree. I mean, listen.
Kevin McAllister. Kevin McAllister, you are a GOAT, if you ask me.
And also, like, I love that you have this debate with your family every year. I think that is also a Christmas tradition that we should keep going.
And we'll have it this year because you know what's going to go on next week? Home Alone. And then right after that, Home Alone 2.
Yes. But Ashley, I do have a question for you. This is a debate that people have had for years. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. Not every Christmas movie has to be joyous and, non-violent. It is. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Hot take? Right. Maybe. Wait, I feel like somebody's knocking at the door. Let's see who this is. Hold on.
Uh-oh. A little Christmas surprise. Who is it going to be?
Little Christmas surprise? Come here. You want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas? Come here. Stand by. Come here. Come here.
Little shy.
Little camera shy. Cooper says, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Cooper.
Merry Christmas, Cooper.
Happy holidays, Cooper.
Hey, happy holidays.
You're so cute. He's like, okay.
He's like, all right, you only paid me for 30 seconds, not 60.
He's like, you already took my Santa hat earlier. Now you want me to be on camera? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Cooper wishes everyone a happy holidays and a very happy new year.
Yes, he certainly does. And we do too. We want to wish you guys the best holiday ever, the best holidays ever. No matter what you celebrate, please celebrate in the best way possible. We want to hear how you're celebrating below in the comments. And of course, every question we've had on here, we want you to answer below too. And if you're not tapped in with us, make sure that you tap in all of these ways. We're also going to have a QR code at the end that you can scan that will directly connect you to us. So make sure that you scan it. But until the next episode, we wish everybody, you and yours, the happiest of holidays from We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T.
Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches.
You better sing, Ashley.
Bye,
Happy
guys.
holidays, y'all.